Hello, I'm back with another chair review for you today, but it's not just any chair, it's the Cougar Terminator Air. But before we take this bad boy for a spin and check out its features, as always, we need to take it out of the box and assemble it, so let's go do that now and I'll be right back. The box that the Terminator Air comes in is pretty large and heavy, so I recommend maybe having a friend help you out here in the room where you're gonna assemble the chair. That being said, everything is packed really neat and tight. There isn't really any wasted space in here. Right on top we have a big poster that is actually the assembly manual, and it offers a detailed overview of the chair's adjustments and functions. As you can see, everything is packed individually in protective foam, so by the end you'll have a lot of waste packaging to dispose of, but on the other hand, the chair parts are properly protected during shipping. The installation screws, along with the Allen key, come in this nice blister packaging, and they actually include a spare of each screw, and the other box contains the trim pieces for the spine. Here we have a first look at the headrest, and it's pretty wide and very ventilated. The seat pan is the last thing in the package, and with that we can do a bit of cleanup and I always prefer to arrange every piece neatly on the floor so I can see clearly all the pieces and it makes it easier for me to work. We start the assembly by inserting the 5 legs into the central base piece. All of these are made out of sturdy metal, giving me a very good and secure feeling about this chair. One screw for each leg, and once we're done, we move on to installing the wheels. This is as easy as just snapping them into place. Five pieces, and we can flip it over. Even without any weight applied, this is very smooth and silent. Next step is to attach the gas strut, which has TÜV certification, just by sliding it in. After this, we can set the base on the floor and attach the seat pan, which is super easy. The instructions tell us to lay the chair on its front side in order to attach the armrests. These use 3 bolts each, the shorter ones in the kit, and are clearly labeled left and right. Don't worry if the screws don't really align vertically, mine did not either. Attaching the back of the chair is a bit tricky. Here the manual advises us to have a friend helping, and while that would be easier, I chose the challenging path of just balancing it on my knee, while I tighten the 4 bolts holding these together. We are using the largest bolts available here. We keep moving on up to the headrest, which is super easy to install. Just insert it into the receiving end and give it a push. You should hear a click when it got into position. The adjustment range of this headrest is very wide to accommodate a lot of individuals, but we will get into more details about that later. Now let's put the finishing touches on this chair, and that means attaching the spine trim pieces. So now that we have the chair assembled, let's talk about some features that it brings to the table. And we're gonna start from the bottom. From these 5 casters, they have an overmolded layer of TPU rubber that will make them very silent, coupled with the bearings inside. So for example, if I sit on it and roll around, you can hear there's actually no noise. They're super silent. Next on the list is the base, which is all made out of metal. and it's very sturdy. Into that base, you saw me install earlier the gas cylinder responsible for the chair up and down movement. As it says in the manual, this gas cylinder is TÜV certified in Germany, so you know it's safe and it's gonna last you a long time. Let me put this back down. Nice and smooth. Next features will be actually these levers. One of them you just saw me press to make the chair go up. But on the other side, we have two more. First one on the left side is responsible for moving the seat forward or backward, and it's spring-loaded. So it's going to be easier for me to demonstrate if I just sit in the chair. And pulling this lever, you can adjust the position quite a lot, I would say. Especially if you are taller, this is going to make much more sense for you. I like to keep it somewhere in the middle. And the last lever here on the left locks up, and then you can adjust the tilt. Of course, you can just leave it locked in an upright position, and then you can freely tilt or move around with the chair. But if you want to lock it in a specific position, you just push it back down, and then the chair will be locked in this position. This one, which is almost 90 degrees vertical, honestly I don't really recommend, since having all your weight be supported on the spine is not good for your back. So a lot of doctors actually recommend just having a bit of an angle, so then the backrest part of the chair takes up the weight of your body, not the actual spine. Right above the levers we have the seat pan, which along with the rest of the seat is covered in this super breathable mesh material. But it's not just any mesh, it actually has a bit of a rubberized texture, so it's gonna help you not slide while you're using this chair, especially if you're laid back. With other chairs, you'll see after long sitting sessions, you'll just find yourself sliding forward. Not with this one. This is pretty grippy and it's gonna help you stay in place. There are also these edges here that will help define the limit of the seat. And right underneath the seat pan, we have the footrest, which extends quite a lot, I would say. This footrest also pivots a little bit. So when you sit in the chair and actually use it, it will follow the angle of your legs. It's super easy to push back in. It has a handle right underneath, and the operation is smooth. No complaints there. Coming back to the seat pan, on the front edge, we actually have some foam underneath the mesh, which is going to provide some more support for the front part of your legs, which brings us to the armrests. These, of course, are adjustable in height, in pretty small increments, I would say. You have a lot of adjustability here, but not only height, they also rotate more than 180 degrees. And on top of that, they have forward to backward adjustments. So if you find this is too far forward for you, just rotate it back, push it a bit, and now it also gives it a bit of an angle. I prefer to just keep them 90 degrees and at a reasonable height. How do you know if it's a reasonable height? While sitting in your chair at the correct height for your desk, if you lay your arms on them, this angle here should be 90 degrees. If you put them too high up, you will notice that your shoulder tries to kick up and it's an uncomfortable position. So depending on your height and your desk height, find a place where this angle feels natural and there's no stress on your shoulder. The lumbar support piece is also breathable mesh fabric, and it has a bit of a tilt when you sit in the chair, so it will conform to the shape of your back. This brings us to the main backrest, which is quite a huge piece and actually can move up and down to accommodate if you are taller or a shorter individual. You should adjust this so that the lumbar piece actually supports you properly. So for me, it's at around a height like this, where I actually feel it supporting my lower back. Which brings us finally to the headrest. As you can see, it has a lot of adjustability in the up and down plane, but not only that, you can also tilt it to perfectly match the height that you need. On top of that, you also have forward and backward adjustment, so you can find the perfect sitting position for you. This is also breathable fabric. As you can see, it's see-through. And if we look at it from the front, it's very wide, so accommodates a lot of positions, especially if you like to take a nap in your chair. You just pull out the footrest, tilt all the way back, and you can enjoy a rest even tilting your head sideways. The wide headrest accounts for that. The most striking visual feature of this chair is the back spine of the chair, and this is actually on purpose because Cougar designed and built the Terminator Air to mimic the human spine, so that this shape adapts to you and provides as much support as possible for your whole back. This would fit pretty well in an office or corporate environment because apart from the orange accent on top, which is not a deal breaker, the aesthetic blends in with other office chairs, especially seen from the front like this. You wouldn't think it's a gaming chair or anything flashy, so both crowds are covered here. So if you're a gamer needing support for long periods of time with breathable fabric and a chair that is engineered to help your back, this is for you, but also for professionals that want a lightweight breathable chair with features designed to help their back and accommodate for their position. This is also tailored for them. I like the fact that the armrests are not extremely stiff. These are made out of a kind of spongy material, so they have a bit of give. They will not dig into your hands, and the levers and the buttons are very positive. You know exactly what each one does, and they're placed in pretty convenient areas. Being a bit of a lighter weight boy myself, I enjoy the fact that there's no more tension adjustments for the tilting resistance, and now it's automatically adjusted within the chair according to your weight, which for me it's great. When you engage the lever to allow tilting, I'm 100% certain with other chairs I couldn't tilt them by hand, but this is so soft and so easy to tilt that it's very enjoyable. So let's wrap up the review of the Cougar Terminator Air gaming chair. In my opinion, for this price point, it's a very good offer. I really like the breathability of the chair. I like the adjustment of the seat pan and the height adjustment of the actual back piece. And the headrest, with its many degrees of freedom, is great for somebody like me who really wants to dial in their chair. If you're thinking of picking one of these up, there's of course gonna be a link down in the video description. If you enjoyed this video, consider giving it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more tech videos like this one, and I'll see you next time.